I got my first one my senior year of high school. Everyone thinks they can do it, but it's not as easy as people think they can, as it is. Everyone has one, whether it's on their phone or they carry it around. It wasn't invented until the year 1816. With a simple push of a button, the camera changed the way we see the world. Click, click, and post. People normally do it, but it's not always the best option. As someone who has taken photos for over 3 years and has taken many different types of photography classes, I got to see the time and dedication it takes to be a freelance photographer. Yes, it's a competitive industry, but there's always one thing that brings these people together, and that is their camera. Everyone has one, but it's different to be a freelance photographer, and it's not as simple as people think it is. Today I'll talk to you about freelance photography culture. The year 1816, the first camera was invented, so that makes the camera about 204 years old. To give you some sense of time, the Constitution was signed in 1787, so it's about 233 years old. That makes the camera 31 years younger than the Constitution. The camera didn't become popular as it is now until the start of the Civil War. Why is that? That's because many soldiers would take their cameras out into the battlegrounds and take photos of different things that were going on. And it was different and a culture shock when they would bring those photos back home so people could see what was going on. The three most common cameras would be a 35mm film camera, a DSLR, and a mirrorless camera. Most people use a DSLR camera and a mirrorless. Why? Because it's much easier to edit than a film. Most people like to shoot in auto mode. That means all the settings are already done for you and everything's done automatically. But it's not always the best thing to do when you're a freelance photographer, and it's not always the easiest either, because there's much more work to be done as soon as you finish taking all those photos. The editing process. Yes, the editing process. As someone who has edited prom photos, graduation photos, quinceañera photos, it's always better to shoot in manual. But something to improve yourself on, you can set goals for yourself. I set a theme for myself, and within that theme I take 5 different photos. I find 5 different creative ways to take those photos and make my photos look much better and much different than the other ones that I have taken. I always try to think outside the box because everyone's just so judgmental. It's cool to think outside of the box. Something that's always kept me engaged was my experience in self-promotion. Self-promotion equals success. Without having success, without having people that follow you, you will not have success. You'll have to have people that are interested in your work and want to have you take their photos for many years to come. You don't have to have the best camera or the best equipment. All you need is skill and self-promotion. Self-promotion so you can promote yourself and your product. Freelance photography will always be around. As long as you put the time and dedication, you will be good. Good with different ways of thinking so you can stand out. It's also good to have followers to take you to the next level. Take your time, focus, check your settings, and change your photography, because better photographers change the way they take their photos.